Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Yiddeshe Neshamos, Mordechai. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Shalom, David Jonathan.
From
Brooklyn, New York.
You don't fit
Originally, I left a while ago.
Oh, Baruch Hashem. So did I. Right when you go back there, you're like, how do people live in this place? You know what I'm talking about? And when you tell them that, they get really mad. So, yeah, no, but we don't have a lot of people from Brooklyn watching, so it's not a big deal. We didn't insult anybody. So, I'm kidding. Rabbi said, listen to this email. Listen to this email. You're going to be shocked. Dear Rebelli, hope this message finds you well. Recently, on a flight back from Israel after Lag BaOmer, I had the pleasure of sitting next to a humble person. Now, when you think about humble person, who do you think of?
I think of you.
Who's a lawyer as well. Usually humble and lawyer don't go together, but in this case it definitely does. Who mentioned sitting next to you, he sits next to you during Rebelli's shir. Despite the late hour and our initial quiet journey, our conversation towards the end left a lasting impression on me. His dedication to attending Rebelli's shir, despite his demanding profession as a lawyer based in Israel and the US, truly inspired me. Learning that he actively participates in these shiurim, he sits right next to Rabbi Nachman Seltzer, was eye-opening. Thanks to his recommendation, I've since started tuning into the videos and find them enriching. Now to the lawyer that his name I don't know. Once again, thank you for the unexpected but invaluable introduction. I apologize if my inflatable footrest caused any inconvenience during our flight. See attached photo of the footrest that I had to constantly adjust. And this person didn't even wink, LOL. Warm regards, Yiddi. Here's a picture of his footrest. He brought a business seat with him. That's geschmack, a blow-up business class seat. I guess that's the bulkhead. Yeah, that piece that his feet are on it's like he blew it up to the level of his feet. Murdik. The flight is delayed, but for Reb Binyamin Stolov of Dallas, it just means more time with Rebelli. Listen to this. This is very moving. I'm the English guy you met at the Aguda convention and last week in Manchester. I have a stammer. He stutters, I guess. So persuasion through talking is not for me. I doubt I could sell a water pump to someone whose house was on fire. Nevertheless, after your exhortations, I spoke to everyone I could and I got one recruit. If I can, anyone can. We can't all be Peretz Chaim Levin, but if everyone would get one recruit, we can double our numbers. Be Yedidus Simon Grant. You hear this? It's unbelievable. MS, unbelievable. Please don't mention my name, he says here, so I'm going to have to... Wow. It says... I almost did. No, last night, like the Israelis barely send in emails, and finally I read like a Hebrew email, and I read the guy's name, and it says right afterwards, "V'vakasha lo lagit Hashem sheli." I feel bad. Hi, Rebelli. It was mentioned today in Shir about a course from Melamed to teach the MDY method. I hope that you take this seriously and not a joke. I'd like to apply, and I'm ready to pay. I'm planning to go into Chinuch and really feel that this would be a strong foundation for any Melamed or Magid Shir. Please take this seriously and maybe try to build a curriculum for all the tips and tricks. Your Talmud says and the Kiddushin, Moe Friedman. No, just kidding. Please don't mention my name. It's not one person. It's a whole chevra, each guy with their thing. Now this is very, very important. This is two emails, one after another. You can laugh all you want. Hi Rebelli, after watching your video interview with Ari Chaimwitz, I was in tears. Been on and off with the daf as life gets in the way at times. This video gave me the jolt that I needed to jump back on the bandwagon for Bava Basra. Thank you for doing what you do for Klal Yisrael. You are an inspiration. Now, here goes the funny part. P.S. As someone who is musical, I can't help but acknowledge what a beautiful voice you have. I hear you singing with the chevra quite often as you start the shir and always enjoy, and I love your harmonies as well. Maybe one time you should sing the whole daf. Regards, Ahron Fraiman. Okay? The same day, I get this email. You can't make this up. And Dailam is welcome to send this guy hate mail at it's not about the daf dot, it's about the yomi at outlook.com. MDY should make a Motzi Shabbos melody. Just make sure, enhance Eli's voice, and edit off key people, including the Rav. You have a beautiful voice. Your voice is so bad you have to edit it out. Unbelievable. Gewaldig. This is in Hebrew. This is in Hebrew. So yesterday I had to leave the siyum early. Like a lot of things in my life, I had to come back here and do the shiur. It was actually 37 minutes late with everything else. But I missed a speech. And somebody came over to me yesterday and said I was crying when Morty spoke. Anybody was there when Morty spoke? He was mamish in tears. So he said, you missed a good one. So hopefully they'll send it to me. What did you say? No, don't repeat the whole thing now. Shalom aleichem tzadik. 7:24. This is very chashuv. Yeah, no, I know. Chaim Milred. We'll shmooze afterwards. Amazing shir and family. Thank you for bringing Klal Yisrael together through Daf Yomi. Especially enjoy the practical applications, the drash, or readings in the Gemara. I'm very interested in helping any way I can, especially in starting yeshiva as mentioned. Have ideas for video games, for Karbanos, and Eruv, etc. as well. Mamish interesting stuff. And this is very special that he's offering his help. Currently living in Phoenix, Arizona, and recently joined trying to have my 12-year-old son remain committed. So I'm sure he knows Mark Ashkenazi, Phoenix, Arizona. Shabbos challenging as we try watching live. He's saying it's hard to watch the daf on Shabbos. I have many stories, not sure worth telling. They're all worth telling. Please let me know how I can help. Thank you, Chaim Milred. And this is very important. And then I just want to show you a quick video, and then we can start the shir. Baruch Hashem, the Nariya Chevra was to another beautiful siyum. This is Avi Berg from Nariya. Look at this. The Tilumi Chevra, which I miss very much in the Hebrew shir. With the addition of the Hebrew shir and some intense recruiting from Dov Yarovich, this was our first bilingual shir. Our Messiah was Rav Dovi Shachor.
Miriam, not Nariya.
Oh,
Miriam.
Niriya. Maybe we have to do a shir over there.
Much closer than Nariya.
Oh, okay. Sorry. One of our local Magidi shir. Oh, I don't know what this says. Shout, who just got out of the army and shared how his chayvus of the Daf Yomi changes your entire day. I know, I wish I had more pictures of chaylim doing, because they are mamish sacrificing to do the daf after such a crazy day, but we don't have a lot of stories or pictures. In back months ago we had, what? Yeah, that's right. If you're in the army and you're doing the daf, send us a picture. You don't have to show your gun and your whatever that's usher over there to do it without that. I don't know. It'll encourage people. Thank you all to those who came and keep us inspired to keep on diving, keep on learning, and keep the Torah ikar of our lives, Avi Berg. And finally, Rabbi Isa, here's a nice clip from the Manchester Siyum. Enjoy. He built that stender just for the Siyum. The stender builder. Shimmy. Official showed up. Remember him? Sure. That's the car. It's not an X5 or boy said, no, it's an X7. Bernard David.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
We have a lot of.
We're able to build this amazing thing called MDY, which Baruch Hashem right now has close to 25,000 participants around the world.
They're laughing at that. There she rose.
The
The YouTube cake.
How have 100 pounds over there. If we've got a 200 pounds, 300 pounds. We've got 500 pounds.
If I had a bid, it would be not more than 5 pounds.
The relationship to Manchester is very, very simple.
Unbelievable, that's all I have to say. Once again, Manchester, Shimi Leafman, Yossi Dahari, and all the boys, they came together and threw an event. English Shire, you had a beer to understand it.
Remember what R Eli says, it's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi.
To me, the message of MDY has always been, take a lesson from this, anything can be done. A small concept can turn into something big, the biggest share in the world. We witnessed it again tonight, 20,000 subscribers just on YouTube, together with all our podcasts here, WhatsApp, all around. And that's what you need to take from this, to remember that something small can always become massive.
Beautiful. Right, looking forward to going again. Manchester, London. We're holding Daf Yomi Amud Beis. Oh, forgot about that. We will start soon. The Masechta sponsored for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Paras HaChodesh. Somebody said, how come we don't mention the people that are injured and whatever? Because he didn't pay for it. The guy that's complaining should sponsor for the cholim, whatever. The Paras HaChodesh. I can't just say whatever I want to say here. Paras HaChodesh. Oh, I just got the message that the Yiddeshe Rebbe, Rabbi Eichenstein from Chicago, Baruch Dynamis. If you know him, he's like in Baltimore. There's the famous Eichenstein shul with 16 shiurim or whatever. That's his son. He has sons all over, and in Chicago, when I give the shiur in Chicago, it's in his son's shul. It's a very, very big personality in Chicago. He's the Shom should have an aliyah. Parents HaChodesh, Lirfur Shlema Neftalli Herz Ben Henya Leah, a hidden tzadik in our generation. Parents HaChodesh, Refuat hanefesh and guf for Breina Bina bat Miriam Baila, Netanel Kalev ben Bracha bat Breina Bina. Parents HaChodesh, Moe Landy, Liluy Neshamos, R Moshe ben Shmuel Yehuda, the Mashgiach of Torah Das, the Rav of Emunas Yisrael. Parents HaChodesh, Ahron Fraiman. Oh, Ahron Fraiman, l'schus to rebelli for continuing Siyat the Shema teaching Torah to Kalev. So we just read his email, no? Parents of Shavua, Liluy Neshamos, Rus Bas Shraga 5ish, Mrs. Ruth Steinberg, or they say in Steinberg from Manchester, Niftorah this Friday. Parents Hayoim, Kotel Connections Family, to Kotel Connections volunteers seeking Yiddeshe Neshamos at the Kotel. Thank you. Parents Hayoim, Refuat Shlema Chasya Rus Bas Chana undergoing operation today. She should have a Refuat Shlema. Iboilu. 2 lines from the bottom of Amud Beis. Yishkor to Gary for purchasing this on the spot. I asked him to buy this yesterday afternoon and it was already here last night. I asked Yoshi to build models of a chutzner and houses, and he worked on it for 6 long hours and he got what he got, and Be'ez Hashem will be able to use this other times as well. Yesterday we were learning a machlokes Abai and Rava. They are on one team versus Rish Lakish, and they lose to Rish Lakish. Abai and Rava say that a person is believed to say that he paid early, in advance of the date that he was supposed to pay. If he's supposed to pay, let's say his loan comes due on Tuesday, he says, I paid it on Sunday, he's believed. Rish Lakish says he's not believed. Person has a chazaka, and he doesn't pay on time. He doesn't pay before the time. Now, the halach is like Rish Lakish. Person is not believed that he paid early. Says the Gemara, Iboilu. Interesting question. What if you have 2 opposing halachas? The loan was due on Tuesday. The guy comes on Thursday and says, hey, you owe me money. I paid you. Yes, the loan is due on Tuesday. I paid you on Sunday. This guy comes on Thursday. You see there's 3 dates here, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. The guy shows up on Thursday, hey, you owe me money. And he says, instead of saying, what he could have said easy, he could have said, I paid you on Tuesday, and then there would be no issue, he would be believed. He said something that puts him in a bad position. He said, I paid early. And we paskin that a person doesn't pay early. But on the other hand, he has a migu. He could have, if he's a liar, he could have just said, I paid on Tuesday. he put himself in a bad, he said something terrible. I paid you early, and that's not a good thing to say. Mao. Mi amrina b'mokim chazaka. There's a chazaka, he doesn't pay early like Rish Lakish. But we do say amrina amali the shaker. If he's going to lie, he has a migui that he could have said, I paid on time. He would be believed. Now, Rashi says he'd be believed, but he would have to make a shvuah. What kind of shvuah, Rabbi say? What's shvuah sesses? The Rabbanon, when a person is kofer hakol, he says, Midarais, you only make a shvuah when you admit a partial admission. Since he is completely denying that he owes money, he'd have to make a shvuah, the Rabbanon called the shvuah sesses. Why not? We should bring it into our heads, shvuah sesses. Or Dilma, b'mokim chazaka lo yamrino ma'al l'shaked avov Amud Aleph on top. Or since Rish Lakish is correct in saying that a person has a chazaka, we know that people do not pay early. In fact, we said that joke, not even joke. The Gmach said a person pays early, he's considered a Rasha. According to the Gmach guy, ain't no the Meis Matzmi Rasha. Okay, fine. How can you say you paid early? And there's no migui. Tashma. So what's good is that for the next, 15, 20 lines, we learned word for word yesterday. So we have a little bit of a chazara going on here. Tashma, b'cheska shenosan at shiyovi raya sheloi nosan. Here we could start using this, why not? Beautiful. These are houses. This is a chutzner right over here. Okay, Gershon, you want to move out a little bit? Oh, thank you. This is a chutzner. A guy builds a wall in a chutzner. Let's say this is the wall. Boom. Okay, he builds a wall in the chutzner. It has to be like a little bit on an angle, maybe. Oh, okay, like that. That's better. He doesn't ask any questions. He puts up a wall. So we said.
Not in the middle.
What do you mean not in the middle?
Not in the middle. He didn't do it in the middle between the two sides. He did it more to one side.
Whatever you want it in the middle. You put it in the middle. Okay, yeah, doesn't matter. It could have people have different size chatzeros. You don't have to measure with a yardstick. It doesn't have to be equal. There's a whole nida, and if a guy has a larger yard, does he have to pay more? It doesn't matter. In the middle here, but beautiful. It's in the middle. Now, the other guy has to pay 50%, and the Mishnah says that if he says he paid already, he's believed. We have a chazaka, he paid. Until the guy that built the wall, until he could prove that he wasn't paid. So the Gemara says, what's the case? If the case is that the guy came on a Thursday, 2 days after he finished building the wall, and he said, pay me, and the guy said, I paid you on Tuesday when you finished building the wall, pshita, then of course he's believed to say that he paid on time. On time, people are believed to say that they paid. So it has to be, l'chayra, it's talking about our case, where he came after the time. He said, pay me. The guy said, okay, I paid you early. And nevertheless, he's believed, even though he said, I paid you early. Even though there's a chazaka that says you don't pay early. Why? The migui is so strong, it's stronger than a chazaka. You have two opposing things. You have a migui and you have a chazaka. Chazaka tells me most people don't pay early. Boom, that's a chazaka. A migui tells me if I wanted to lie, I could have said a better lie. Why would I say that I paid early? I could just say simple, I paid on time. Oh, so the migui is so strong, we believe him. Against the chazaka. Says the Gemara, Shani Hacha, the Kol Shafa, V'Shafa, Zimnehu. Remember this from yesterday? Every row of bricks that you buy, Shkoyach, I need feedback. We have this thing going for 5 years. Yes, no, I'm just trying to save you, my friend. You owe me. Like Eli needs me. Shkoyach. They didn't have to do sponge, you don't have to send your kids off, the whole thing. Kol Shafa, V'Shafa, Zimnehu. Every row of bricks. It doesn't mean you have to take revenge. My Gemara says shafa shafa. What does the archer say? Shafa shafa. You're. Yeah, archer wins when it comes to these things.
No, this is
oh yeah, I also, by the way, by me, I'm not joking. It says shafa shafa. I don't know why I read it shafa shafa. Shafa shafa. Zimneu. Yeah, because it's not a safa, it's a shafa. Fine. Doesn't matter. The point. What does it mean? It means every row of bricks is a new payment. So, according to one pshat, there's no there's no reason to believe that he paid early, because each row of bricks is another payment. There's another payment. It happens every hour. There's another payment. Toshma. We said that a person, when a wall is built like this, you only have to pay when it's up to 4 amas. Anything above 4 amas is the shear of Zechariah. Most people are not 8 feet tall. So you build an 8-foot wall, you're good. The guy builds a 10-foot wall, I don't have to participate in a 10-foot wall. That's his thing. That was just for beauty, whatever it is. So anything above that, I'm not paying. So I need to say, I have to ask Mechila from the Olam. Yesterday, we showed in the video, in shear, but it was corrected before it went out. We went like this. This is what the video showed, that a guy built a wall like this. And once he builds a wall like an L, then we make him pay like this. Rashi says straight out, it's not the pshat. The pshat is more like this. Built a parallel wall. If you build a parallel wall, so now we could assume that he is going to put it on a roof and whatever. Fine. So if he built another wall, he did not pay. We're going to say he didn't pay. Does anybody remember why we say he didn't pay? Because it's a major chiddush. That's what the Gemara said. We'll see it in a second. He has to prove that he paid. And now the Gemara just wants to prove if we have a chazaka against the migo, against the chazaka, which one wins? If the guy that put up the original wall, he came and he demanded money a couple days later, and he told him, and he told him, I paid you on time, then what's the halacha? If a person says he claims they paid on time, he's believed. Why shouldn't he be believed? Must be our case. We said I paid you before the time. So there's a chazaka against him. Just what? There's a migo that helps him. If he wanted to lie, he could have lied a better lie. So you have a migo against the chazaka. Nevertheless, what wins here? The chazaka, the migo? The chazaka wins. The chazaka tells me a person doesn't pay early. He's a liar. If he was a liar, he could have lied a better lie. No, chazaka wins out. Says the Gemara, not a good raya. What are you telling me? That perhaps he paid early, he has a migoi. No, nobody in this case pays early. Why? Nobody knows that you even have to pay. This is a major chiddush, that if you put a parallel wall, you have to pay. So how would he know to do so? So Mela, the chazaka wins that a person doesn't pay early, in this case. But maybe in another case, migoi beats the chazaka. Another ayah. A person says, you owe me $100. And the guy admits and he says, yes. Says Rashi, he has to say it in front of Eidim. But there's another Rashi, brought down in Likutei Rashi, that says not only do you have to say it in front of Eidim, you have to say in front of Eidim and tell the Eidim, you are my Eidim. Let's say I come to you and I say, you owe me $1 million. And there's 2 guys sitting over here learning chavrusa, and you say, yes, I owe you $1 million. You're messing with me. You want me to think you don't have money, whatever the reason is. Oh, I have 2 Eidim, 2 Eidim, you owe me $1 million. They're sitting over here. No, that's not enough. You have to turn around to them and say, listen, Atameda, you're my Eidim that say that I owe Eli $1 million. If you do that, then it works. Omar Loihin. So it's kedai maybe to write in pencil over here that there's Eidim and they said Atameda, just to, because it's not as simple as it looks. It says, I owe you owe me $100. Yes. No, it's not just yes. It's yes in front of 2 witnesses that you establish that they're the witnesses for this case. And the next day he says, okay, you remember you admitted that you owe me 100? Please pay up. I already paid you potter. If he said, I already gave you the money, he's potter on condition that what? Shvua says, not to forget. What's your name again, tzadik? Itzinger? From Manchester or London? London. Shalom Aleichem, 3 days in a row, no? You leaving today? Shkoyach for coming. Who's that person next to you? Shalom Aleichem, tzadik, what's your name? Shermack. From? Far Rockaway. Don't tell me you remember me from Far Rockaway. You remember my father? Are you always in Far Rockaway? Really? So you remember my father from Far Rockaway when he's in what? Who? That's right. 15:30. Is it something like that? I forgot. 10:30. Wow. Ooh, what? Okay. Welcome. And who's that guy? One more. Shalom Aleichem. You're not so. You look for. Do I know you? Did I meet you 10 times? No. What's your name? Palashak. From? Ramat Bet Shemesh. Shalom Aleichem. Gewaldig. Okay. Anybody on the left side? Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Oh, that's right. I wanted to mention you today. I only messed you up yesterday. I didn't recognize you. And here you are again. Unbelievable. Chaim Kessler from Baltimore. Was there a siyum in Baltimore and Bava Basra?
Individual ones, not MDY.
No. What's going to be? Can you get together with Nachum Horowitz and do something?
Official was the wonder or something like that.
We don't care. We got to do it without official. We don't need a crutch. We got to do it with no. One day. Okay. Be'ezer Hashem. It's in the plans, huh?
Official means official.
Yeah, exactly. Rabbi Isai in Baltimore, we have Chaim Kessler. He's going to take care of the Olam. Doesn't matter. It's the whole. I was also here, but I was in London also. We did see him last week. Before.
All the guys who cared left.
he flew in special for the see him here in Eretz Yisrael. Dr. Gemara. Pay up. If he says I already paid up, he's potter on condition that he makes a shvuas heses, which is a shvuah de Rabbana. So here, it's a very slight difference in wording. If he says, I paid you already, he's potter. If he says, I don't know what you're talking, I don't owe you, chayav. So the Gemara wants to make the nafkamina between the two lashonas our question. My love, when he says, I already paid you, one wording means I paid you on the day that I had to pay you. On Tuesday, the day that it came due, I paid you. When he says the other three words, you don't have in my hands, I don't owe you, it's the same thing, but slightly different. Praticha, when did I pay you? Instead of saying I paid you on Tuesday, I paid you 2 days early, on Sunday. Viktani chayav. Oh, what else could be the difference between the two sentences? One is I paid you, one is I don't owe you. Viktani chayav. Now, the Olam doesn't like it that much because there's ways to interpret the wording differently. You see from here that you don't have a good migui when you have a chazak against you that says you don't pay early. Liluy. What does it mean? You don't have my hands? I don't know who you are. Now that's a very big problem. I don't know who you are. Why? Because the day before you admitted in front of two witnesses that you do know who he is and you owe him $100. And that's why he's not believed. So if this guy, here we have a musik in Shas, if you admit that you didn't borrow, that means you're admitting that you didn't pay back. But you just said yesterday that you owe him $100. So you admitted you didn't pay since that time that you admitted $100 till now you didn't pay back because you said I didn't borrow. I didn't borrow means I didn't pay back. Oh, so you owe $100. Huh? What? Yeah, but we don't have ladam. We have those words. You're right, ladam. It doesn't say ladam, so I got confused. Okay, Rabbi Isai nu sugya. We said if a person builds this one wall over here and it's more than 4 amas tall, he doesn't have to pay for everything above 4 amas. When he comes and he puts another wall over here, he has to pay for how much? The entire length of the wall. No, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this guy. Might be a little. Let's get rid of this guy for a second. Here, you know what? I'll do it this way. It might work better. Go like this. Here's a wall. Just for argument's sake. It's not meant to be here. Go this way. Oh, that's better. And you see the length of the wall? Now the guy goes and he puts his wall like this, parallel to it. So says Rav Huna, now you can see different colors. It's better. He doesn't have to pay for this part. The part that he didn't build, he doesn't have to pay. He's showing that he wants to use the width of his wall that he just put up, the brown wall. That's all. Oh, sorry. Amar Ravuna. Some lepalgo, some lekula. The opposite. As long as he put half, he has to pay for the whole thing. Rav Nachman Omar, l'maydu samach samach, l'maydu li samach lo yisamach. And Rav Nachman says the opposite. Whatever he put. Whatever he didn't put, he doesn't have to pay. Umaydu Ravuna, bikarna ve'lufta. Oh, so check this out. Let's see if this is going to work. Here, we'll do it this way. If a guy has a house, here's a house, and it is the second wall here. So now you have two walls. Oh, like this. And now this guy goes and builds another wall over here. So now it's obvious what his structure is. He has a 3-walled structure. 1, 2, 3. Then we don't assume that he's going to extend this wall to the end. If it's just standing in midair, so we could assume, Rav Huna says, maybe he'll extend the whole length of the original wall. But since he already has a structure on the corner, he has this house, and he built a third wall. Now he has 3 full walls. That's the extent of his building. And he only has to pay the length of what he built. Now he's masking to Rav Nachman. Keneged. Whatever's opposite this brown wall, it has to be taller, obviously. I'm just using it to contrast the 2 walls. So you see this back wall, but it's the same height. This is more than 4 amas. Let's say there's 6 amas, this wall. So is this. Pretend there's 6 amas. Rav Huna is of the opinion that you have to pay, if this doesn't exist, you would have to pay the entire length of this wall, even though this wall is small. Because I don't know what his intention is. Maybe tomorrow he'll extend all the way to the end. But when this guy exists, there's a wall, there's a second wall. I'm going to use the house as a second wall. And he built a smaller wall, not the entire length of the original wall. So he only has to pay the length of the small wall they just built, because that's all he's going to use. And that's all he's going to build. He's going to build a small room the size of his new wall. Okay? Understood? When there's a corner house over there, another structure, that he only has to pay keneged that wall. And Rav Nachman admits, ba'afriza uvekevata d'chshurei. So the way it works is, let's say there's a wall. In the United States, this is how we build houses out of wood. Let's say there's a foundation made out of concrete, all foundations, and you want to put the cross beams, the trusses, whatever you want to put on. You never put your beam directly on concrete. Why? Because concrete is moist and it'll destroy your beams. So they always put down a sill plate. Okay, they put something down like this, a piece of wood, and then the beams go on this piece of wood. So if this gets a little rotted, it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. As long as your structure that holds up the house and the floor doesn't get ruined. Anyway, so if somebody who goes ahead and puts this beam around the entire on top of the wall, now this is very important. Where's my chvata d'shura? Oh, here we go. You can see it over here. Here, maybe even a picture will do. Every single one of us has been here and seen this wall, but maybe you didn't know what it was. You see those squares in the kaisel? This is when you go inside the shul part, underneath the covered part. There's a bunch of squares over there. What are those? Oh, so here, let's say this is it right over here. We'll go back to this. You see these guys right over here, the squares, and the beam fits right into the square, and then it holds the beam. Now, if you could pull these guys come out. This is a frame made to fit inside the hole. What he's saying, if there is a hole in the stone, so now I'm showing that I intend eventually to put beams across the whole thing, so you have to pay that length. Rav Nachman is of the opinion you only pay whatever you built. But if the guy goes ahead and he puts this sill plate on the entire wall, so you have to pay for the whole wall. The other guy didn't build the wall. His friend built the wall. Then the guy that didn't build the wall goes and puts preparation to put beams. And part of the preparation to put the beams is he drills holes in the guy's wall. So you have to pay for the entire wall. You have holes throughout the whole thing, so pay for the whole wall. Huh?
Didn't do it.
No, you don't have to do it. You just
preparation.
Yeah, that shows that you want. Anytime. That was the sugi yesterday. We had, let's say you build 4 walls around my chutzner. You have to pay.
Because there you did the actual 4th wall.
No. The other guy made the 4th wall, but if I show that I have dates in there and I'm happy with your shmira, you have to pay. If I show that you built a wall, I build Reb Nachman. I come into your house and I build you a kitchen. You have to pay me or not?
Yes.
Only if you show that you want it.
You built the kitchen. The kitchen's finished.
Yeah, but you already have a kitchen. I built another one in your office.
A million things could happen and nothing, and you won't do it. That's it.
It goes by showing. You show that you want it. Now, Omar Ravuna, Bei Kavi lo have a chazaka. Now, very interesting.
He said he makes these holes and he builds these things on his wall, the second wall, not the one.
On the second wall? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Not in your wall.
On his wall.
He's showing. No. But you have to. But how are you show? If that's the case, how are you showing the whole length? This wall is a whole wall. Now, here's a tiny wall. Where do you build? What? It's not so poshut.
That's the way to explain. That's how it shows it as opposed to.
You mean you're right. Good point. If he built, so let's see how it works here. If he built, this is actually in the wrong wall, but if he has these holes above 4 amas, correct. If he has these holes above 4 amas, he shows that he wants to build, but at least on the part of that small wall that he did. Yeah, okay. I hear. You mean without, okay, we're going back. That's a good point. Without this guy, but Rav Nachman was moida anyway. No, Rav Nachman was moida that if he built a wall across from the other wall, you don't even need those holes.
Only up to that height.
If he built a wall that tall, a 6 amma wall across from the original wall, he has to pay without making holes.
If the first guy built an 8 amma wall,
8 amma wall, yeah,
and another guy did a 4 amma wall,
yeah,
whatever he built, he paid.
Correct.
Now that he puts these windows or this beam, he shows he wants to continue going up.
He has to go
So he has
all
to pay
8.
the whole.
No, according to Rav Nachman, he has to pay. Oh, you're saying he only pays the height? No.
Up to 4.
Let's do Rashi, Rabbi Say. Which? Umayder Rav Nachman freezes Rav Nachman. Liin goy ved the kamer Rav Nachman. Umayder lo samach. Moidu shem osav akoisel shesamach mokem anachas reish koris aliyah pnei kula. Soivel agbia oid kishir goy aliyah. V'nichel goy the koisel rishon. So we're talking about a lower. So then we have to do this. So this whole thing is no good, Rabbi Yisai.
Says Okova or Ora.
Right, that I also saw, but it doesn't fit with the Eirach. Unless Eirach, so it does fit in Eirach. Where does Rashi say Eirach? I saw that somewhere. Eitz Aruch v'av shonei al pnei kol Eirach hakoisel la'aniyah kol roshi kairs u'meni alim shelo yirakvu machmas lichluch hakoisel hashim korim milastin rishon eitz av eitz chorim hakoisel v'nois nesarm ktanim l'malo l'mata l'zdodim v'niyach v'dom roshi kairs v'ayinu akvad l'kshurer. No, but it says mefurish both.
That says shlo haya kosel chadash aruch kekosel harishon.
Both ways.
Right, it's both things. I just didn't understand how it goes. I explained it on the length. Explain it on the height also. Okay, good. Good. It could go both ways. Good. Shkoyach. I know I saw it somewhere. It goes on the width as well. Givaldi. So, Zog the Gemara. Yeah, what?
The point is, he's not making these tikkunim in the other guy's wall. He's doing it in his own wall, and that's being Megaladas that he wants to be the higher or longer.
Okay, he's doing these holes in his own wall. This guy's in his own wall. He's showing what he wants to do in the future. Okay. The fact that there's holes in the original wall, so it works well with what you're saying. If these holes, these guys without the frames, these guys are on Ruvain's wall, the original guy that built the wall. and it's facing your chutzner. Yeah, because let's say this is Shimon. The guy that built the wall lives over here. And these holes are facing the other guy. So you'd say, oh, there's holes in there, look. That means that I paid for the wall. I already have these holes, it's ready to go, it's ready to build. It doesn't mean you paid for it. And even if you put these frames in there, these guys, you're ready to build. Doesn't mean anything. Why? The guy that built this wall says, look, I put the preparation in already, built in case one day you pay me. The fact that it's there doesn't mean that you pay me. I don't want you going with a jackhammer and jackhammering the top of my wall. You know what's going to happen to my wall? It's going to ruin my wall. It's going to make a lot of noise, dirt, whatever. I built it in case one day you decide to pay me, you'll be able to build whatever you need to build and you won't ruin my wall. So it's not a chazaka, just the fact that there's stuff there. If the guy, so this is hilchos shchenim, sometimes you use stuff from your neighbor and you claim that you paid for it. Rashi says this is all talking about that you paid. So if you have little narrow beams on the top that go from your house to the wall, it doesn't mean that you have permission and that you paid for the ability to put giant a beam like this, let's say, a larger beam. That you don't have rishus. Whatever you have rishus, you have rishus. But if you're able to put a 10 by 10 beam on the other guy's wall, then of course you can put the smaller beams. They might weigh the same, but they're spread out. Rav Yosef says doesn't matter. Once you're using your neighbor's wall for smaller, spread out, smaller beams, you could also put a larger beam on there. It's Rav Nachman that said, once you put the smaller beams, you can put the larger beams. And certainly, if you put the larger beams, you can put the smaller beams. Same kind of idea. Here's a picture. Your roof doesn't have a gutter, and the rain pours into your neighbor's backyard. So it's very annoying, and it goes everywhere. You see the water is scattered everywhere. If the neighbor doesn't make a big deal about all this water coming in, so certainly you could do one of these. Gather the water and pour it into your neighbor's yard in one place. You're already hurting him.
Guess not.
No, if the guy doesn't have usage of his backyard because of he's trying to enjoy himself in the rain, and all this rain comes off the roof at all different areas, and he doesn't care, so certainly he won't care if it's in an isolated place. But if he allows you to put it in one place, it doesn't mean anything for getting rain everywhere. And it doesn't matter. If you have a chazaka for one, you have a chazaka for the other. According to Rav Nachman, it doesn't make a difference. I just have a l'saber's einayim. This us 3, 4. We were in a tzrifa d'orvina like this. In I think maybe not. Maybe it wasn't with you. In Africa, I was once in one of these places where they put like straw. That's how the whole roof is made out of straw. Thatched thing, whatever. Water doesn't come in because there's so much of it. It doesn't come in. But orvina really means like arava, it's like willow tree, but it's the same idea. The point is that water comes down, and when it rains at 12 o'clock, it's still raining at 4 o'clock. Why? Because it absorbs so much water until all the water comes out of it. It keeps on going. So that I don't allow you to do. I allow you to have a regular roof that it stops raining after it stops raining, not 4 hours later. It's not no. Once you allow a person to have the rain come into my backyard or yard, then it doesn't matter what type of roof it is, even a tzrifa d'orvina. Rav Yosef even said, Rav Yosef uvda b'tzrifa d'orvina. He did a case with this tzrifa d'orvina. If a person, Amud Beis, sponsored by LifeShare, the first crowdfunding community where families are protected before a tragic death. Bebira G'dayla. A person rents a room. A guy has a bunch of rooms, bread and breakfast. He rents out a room. He says, you can have this room. Bebira G'dayla. Mishtamish b'zizeu b'kosleo. He could use the hooks, the beams that come out, the famous Maisa, where a guy wanted to buy a house for his kid. His kid got married, he said, I want to buy a house. He couldn't afford it, $2 million. So he goes to the guy, knocks on the guy's door, he says, listen, I want to make a deal with you. I want to own one hook in your house, I'll pay you $50,000 for the hook. What are you going to do? He says, I'm going to put stuff on it. So $50,000 makes sense. So right by his front door, he puts a nail in there, made a whole contract. First day he comes in, puts his hat on it. The guy's all excited. The next day he comes in, puts his hat, his jacket. Third day, he puts a dead cat in a bag and walks out. The guy says, what do you do? He says, it's my hook, I can put whatever I want in it. And eventually, the guy had to leave. Left and he gave him the house. The nimshal is the Yitzhahara. All he wants is one little nail. He wants to come in. He wants to walk in the door. Once he's in, it's all over. So, says the Gemara, you're allowed to use all the hooks, all the nails, on the outside of the wall, on the back of the wall. Now, this guy has a 100-foot house with rooms. How much of the back wall could you use? Ad arba amos. There's a machlokes Rishonim how to learn it exactly. It seems from Rashi, although some learn in Rashi the other way. Ad arba amos over here also, like Menachem Matel was saying before, some learn in Rashi, it's talking about the height. I think it makes more sense that it's to the width. Like saying, look, the house is huge and there's so many rooms. Mechtesi, you can use the entire back of the. Yeah, but there's Rishonim that say not like that. It's interesting because I looked in the Shulchan Aruch, it's very hard to see. He just quotes Rashi word for word. He says Adar Bamis. He doesn't say which direction, top it to the side. And the width of the wall, you could go on top of the wall, put stuff. People used to put stuff, hide stuff. You didn't have a safe then, so you hide your cash on top of the wall. But the front garden, you grow all the roses and everything. You don't even have permission to walk through that garden. You have to go through the side door. So you don't have a right to put your stuff in the front of the house. Rav himself says you could put it in the front yard. But in the backyard, no way. That's not yours. You rented a room, not the backyard. Rav says even the backyard is included. You have some beam that is there to create shade eventually. You can put like a pergola. Up until 30 days, there's no chazaka. A Maisa Shahaya, you could see it on this building. There's a shul right next door. They went ahead and they took a giant beam, a real serious beam, for sukkahs, and I don't think with permission, they drilled it right into our shul's building. That's a good case of, not a really good case, because the way Rashi says it, that the guy is not claiming that I was there for 30 days. That's a chazaka, Gimel Shanim. He's saying, I bought it. I got permission from the shul. That's the taina. But anyway, it says like this: if you have a beam that's attached to somebody else's property, if it's there for 30 days, you could say, you're believed to say you paid the guy, nobody said anything. The sukkah, the mitzvahi, and if it's a sukkah on sukkahs, I have a great picture here. Here, blow it up maybe a little bit because it's hard to see. You see how they tied these beams to hold up the sukkah. Mamish, a real professional job. They made like an A-frame. But the bottom of those beams are on somebody else's porch. You see they're tied to the porch. So now the guy says, listen, I got reshus from you. I paid you $100 to tie it to your porch. So if it's there for 8 days, we believe. The famous Maisa, also another famous Maisa, where people built these sukkahs, and let's just say in Manchester, they built sukkahs on the sidewalk. So they sued them in the city. They went to court. Goes to court. He says, it's my religion. I need it. He says, no. The kids said, the judge said, listen, religion, this, that, it doesn't matter. You have 10 days to get rid of your sukkah, end the story. V'sukkah the mitzvah. Ad shivi yom le'hav a chazaka. Basa shivi yom have a chazaka. V'chaber b'tina. But if the guy did this with a bunch of cement, he anchored it into the guy's house, la'al to have a chazaka. Nobody's going to allow that, and therefore, it's chazaka. We have this question. If you think about it, you look at these guys. This is a ma'aser shchol. You see these air conditioners? Every building has this problem here in Eretz Yisrael. So people take these air conditioners and they adhere it. They fasten it to your wall. Let's say you live on the 3rd floor. They fasten it to the guy on the 4th floor's wall. It's my wall. I own it. Let's say I want to make an extension. Who has to pay to remove that air conditioner? Now, if you don't say anything, you're a nice guy, then it's your problem. if you just go to the guy, you're not going to listen. I'm not going to make a big deal that you put an air conditioner on my wall and it buzzes through the night and I can't sleep. But you should just know that if I ever want to make an extension, you are responsible to move your air conditioner. Because I know somebody that he told the guy, I'm making an extension, please move your air conditioner. The guy was furious. And he went around to everyone. He says, this Meshuggah is making me pay to move my air conditioner. Chutzpah. Because he wants to move his wall, I have to pay. And he's going around like, hello, you got to know the halacha. It's his wall. You didn't even ask for Rishus to put it on his wall. Anyway, I'm serious. Oh, the boy said, here we go. I know we have to daven Shachris, but we got to do the daf. You have Rishus Rabbim, you have a street. Then we can go back to this. But this is America's Daf Yomi. This is not a Shachris place. It happens to be that we do Shachris for those who learn the daf, that they don't have to go somewhere else. You have a street, and you have two houses over here across the street. We said that if you have two rooftops across from each other, next to each other, it's not a hezekriya because people don't really use it. But because it's a large street, I'm just explaining what the Rishonim explained, a bit different Achronim. Because it's a streeter, we don't really think about the other guy. But he's going to be peeking into your rooftop. So what do we do? Says Gemara, beautiful. Look what happens here, if I can find it. The truth is, you would have to make a wall that's 4 amas wide on the whole thing. So what we do is, we do very nice. You do one wall over here, a half a wall. See? Half a wall. And you do a half a wall right over here. Now it's a little bit more. You do 60%, let's say, and 60%. So we both get a little bit there. Now, if this guy stands over here, he can't see anything. If he stands over here, he can't see anything. The problem is if he stands over here, he might be able to see this way a little bit. But we're not so concerned. Rashi says he's standing straight. Okay? See how the wall is halfway? Great. Each one is not the opposite of the other, but you have to give a little bit more. One of the Bacharim that comes to the shir every day told me, Reb Eli, I was watching you the whole Shabbos from the shul across the park. I could see into your house. Didn't you have your grandchildren there? He started asking, is that hezekriya? Well, the truth is, it's like a fishbowl. Everything is glass and people see it. What are you going to do? Yeah. Marriage is what? Yeah, that's not a real. The Gabi has agreed that doesn't work. The Gabi mechitza of sukkahs it works. Now the Gabi has agreed. Says Gemara, my ear Rishus Harab, I feel Rishus Yachid Nami. Even in Rishus Yachid, although we did say Rishus Yachid, you don't have to put up a mechitza. But the Gemara says, but if they're like distancing, you can't realize that somebody's looking. You should have the same issue. Why do you need a 16 amar Rishus Harab? Says Gemara, Rishus Harab and Tzrichalei, Mao the same anemalei soif soif abois litzanoim v'nei Rishus Harab. You have to protect yourself from all the people. It's a common. So many people walking down, they can look into your property. He'll tell them a few things. The people in the street only see me during the day, but they don't see me at night. You see me night and day. When I stand up, they see me. They don't see me. You're at my height level, so you can see me even when I sit. When they try to see, they see. But if they're not looking, they're not searching for me, they don't see. Whether you like it or not, you're going to bump into me, you're going to see me. You make a half a mechitza. You do a little, not across from the other one, and you add a little bit. Pshita, what's the chiddush? Says the Gemara, the chiddush is that the first guy put up 50% or 60% of the wall. So the other guy's going to tell him, "Wow, we never went this late. Mamish, new records. We gotta stop." So I will just finish this. The guy says, "Listen, you already started the wall. You already have the contractor. Finish up the whole wall. Why should I make 60%? You make 60%. We're wasting money here." Take the expense and you do the whole thing. Why don't you want to do it? You don't want to ruin your weekend, your house. I'm also concerned to ruin my house. Have a wonderful day.